Falcon fans, and of course, Atlanta Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. One time for the fan. We are back talking Falcons football. Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast, man, Twitch, Twitter, whatever it is. We everywhere, man. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Got my boy T Will, former ATL Sports. One time for the fan in the building. Big shout out to Miss Carrie. Big shout out to 43,000. But we got some things to talk about today and not that much time. We're going to do a quick podcast for you all. So we should be up out of here before 10 o'clock or by 10 o'clock. But until that time comes, big shout out to everybody here that's checking in. Don't forget, season ticket holders, rep your section in the chat. Where are you watching the show right now? Where are you listening to the show right now? Please rep where you're at too as well. We'll definitely put the comments up on the screen. Talking some Falcons football. T-Will, breakfast with one time for the fan. Falcon fans talking Falcons football on a Falcons Friday. You know what it is. You know what to do. T-Will for my ATL Sports, one time for the fan, man. How's everything going with you, sir?
Doing well, sir. No complaints. Hey, man, I would say I'm looking forward to a Falcons bye weekend, but I'm really not because we won't have any Falcons. But it's okay. We got the Bulldogs. Hopefully, they can rebound, and I think together we'll get through it. Plus, next week we got a lot of shows coming up, so I guess I can be preparing for those shows this weekend, right? Either way, looking forward to the weekend, man. Still super excited. And hey, man, just high off that victory off of the Commanders. Obviously, it is on to the Buffalo Bills. But yeah, man, hey, I'll do some scouting this weekend. Jack, you got any plans this weekend? You looking forward? I mean, I know it's a bye, so what's going on with Jack Spade this weekend?
This weekend, golf. That's number one. And then, of course, Suns football game is tomorrow as he gets ready to wrap up the end of the season here shortly. And then we start to prepare for his high school career, playing in, a very good school. Still not going to name the school just yet, but playing with a very good school that's well known in the, East Atlanta, I want to say DeKalb, Georgia area. Of course, people know about high school football and, high five sports and all that type of stuff too as well. So hopefully we get a chance to get my son out there, make a name for himself, playing his first year in high school sports. But right now he's still in middle school, so we got to get through that. But Falcon fans, it's just golf and hanging out with the fam, taking care of things like I normally take care of, but, just staying on top of things one day at a time. But yeah, man, it's going down in a major way. And I mean, it's going down in a major way when we got that boy Dwayne Ruffin checking in early in the morning with the super chat. Big shout out to my boy Dwayne Ruffin checking in from
Got
the West Coast. Is that the
Deek
best
in
coast?
me.
We're going to find out. Big
We are
shout out to
gonna find
Dwayne
out, man. Deek in the
Ruffin
chat
in.
with a super chat. Sure excited about it.
Shout out to Dwayne Ruffin, man. Real quick, Falcon fans, it's going down, man. And you guys saw it last night on Thursday Night Football. Next week, Sunday Night Football. We got the Monday Night Football game against the Bills. But then we go up against the 49ers. T-Will, a banged up 49ers team that I think we'll get to here in just a minute. But Dwayne Ruffin with the super chat to start the day. Good morning, fellas. Rise up. You already know what it is. You already know what to do, man. Dwayne Ruffin is here early in the morning at 6:30. He's on the West Coast. 6:30 in the morning
Amen. Amen. Up
talking
early
Falcons
in the morning.
football. Dwayne, I don't know if you get up at 4, 5, or you just like right up as soon as we send the link out and you already see it. It's like, oh, I already know these boys about to go live. But big shout out to Dwayne Ruffin here in the chat talking Falcons football. T-Will, once again, Falcon fans talking Falcons football on a Falcons Friday. Breakfast with one time for the fan, always from the fan for the fan. You already know what we do. Bring your questions, bring your comments to the chat. Let's talk some Falcons football. T will just mention we have a podcast bi-week bowl going on next week where we have a lot of people that's going to be joining us talking Falcons football. And I cannot wait to mention some of the names that will be joining us here talking Falcons football. You guys always ask us for more special guests, and it's been a while since we had some special guests, right? But we're going to go ahead, kick things off next week the right way by bringing in some people who haven't been on the show. You probably seen us together, talking Falcons football, but they had first time on the show, right? So Got some first timers, got some second and third timers is going to be joining us back again. But Dwayne Ruffin with the super chat to start the day off early. Big shout to Dwayne Ruffin. Let's check out the fans in the stands. T. Will, you want to go ahead and read this comment right here? Got to open the front door. You want to read this comment right here, and then big shout out to Anthony in the chat, man. Shout out to you, brother.
Got you covered. Anthony says, "Rise up, Falcons family, and good morning. Always remember, the early bird gets the worm. We hungry out here, so get you going. Let's talk some Falcons in ready." I believe that's "I'm ready. I'll shut up and listen." Hello, Anthony. How are you doing this morning, sir? Hopefully all is well. And Jack is back. We got Anwar Hill in the chat. He says, "Good morning, one time for the fan." And
Big
of
shout out to
course,
Anwar. Big shout out to Anthony in the chat. T. Will, you
shout
got it.
out to
Georgia, Texas
Anthony
boy.
and Anwar. Anthony, how you doing, man? Hopefully all is well. Anwar, good to see you. We got Georgia, Texas boy in the chat who says, "Good morning, one time for the fan and Falcons family. The new era is here. The Atlanta Falcons will rise in
Now,
2020."
now, now, T. Will, hold on now. Before we get to the next comment, Georgia, Texas boy jumps into the chat. Got to give a shout out to Georgia, Texas boy. He always says the new era of the Atlanta Falcons is here, T. Will. Please,
Mm-hmm.
for fans that do not understand, what is this new era of the Atlanta Falcons? We've been around for some years, T. Will. What is Georgia, Texas boy talking about? Is he talking about with Bijan and Penix and what we got going on with this offense and Jeff Ulbrich and Raheem? T. Will, please try to put into good terms of what Georgia, Texas boy is talking about with these Atlanta Falcons, man.
Well, I don't want to assume, but I'm deducing here, and again, this is an educated guess or uneducated guess, however you want to call it. But I think he's referring to number one, the culture of the Falcons. Uh, the personnel of the Falcons. Look at, we got 4 first round draft picks on offense. 5, really, if you think about it. Um, and all of these guys are here in one place at one time. It is a new era. We've got Penix, the second coming of the left-handed quarterback, and he came in on a pale horse. Just kidding. But look at, I mean, we've got so much talent on offense, and guess what, guys? We got a defense. So it is a new era. Jack, when's the last time you could say that the Falcons had a defense and
Oh
say it with
man,
a
it's been
straight
some
face?
years, and of
It's
course,
been
you know we
some
might
presidents,
remember.
Jack.
I
It's
mean,
it's been some presidents.
it's been some years. I'll put it like that. T. Will's right. Definitely been some presidents. We've had a lot of changes going on around the world before the Falcons had a defense like what we've
Hmm.
seen so far, and I think they will continue that. And then this offense too, as well, with Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts, who Kyle Pitts, I believe, posted yesterday that it's his time and so forth. Like he is pumped about this season, and it does make you think about with Drake London and Penix. T. Will, sometimes you just can't keep a good thing for so long, right? We see that players move on, they go to different teams and contract situations, and we want this core group to be around for a while. Remember what we had with Matt Ryan and Julio and the gang back then? Like we saw 10 plus years of these guys, some of these guys here in Atlanta, and it really makes you feel like, hey, we have a culture that we can support, that we can rock with, that we can run with. And right now, fans want. I'm seeing the reaction, of course, the 300-yard game from Penix in his 7th game, but fans want Penix here as the franchise guy. It's been a while since we had a quarterback that's been here for 5+ years since Matt Ryan, right? We're not like the Browns or anything, but then we were going down that lane where after Matt Ryan, we were struggling to find a quarterback that can fit what the Falcon fans and the Falcon organization needs. And the same thing for a running back. Like you got to get the right pieces in place to have a good team going forward. And I
Hmm.
think with Bijan, and of course with Pitts, and of course with Drake London, and even
Hmm.
going to the defensive side of the ball with AJ Terrell and some of these young guys that you're bringing up too as well. Xavier Watts, we'll talk about him in a minute. Billy Bowman and Rook and Dorless. Fans are super excited. They want this core group to stick around for a while because T. Will, sometimes those windows are not open for 4 or 5 years,
No, they're
right?
not.
Those windows are only open until somebody closes them. And we
Hmm.
do hope that the Falcons can continue with the success that we've seen with the Commanders game. But the schedule also plays out in a way where, T. Will, there's some people rooting against us. There's some people thinking that we will not make the playoffs, that we will not get over 8 wins or 9 wins or 10 wins. I think this is a 10 plus win team. You
Mm.
have to go out there and show it. But Georgia, Texas boy, you are right, man. The new era of the Atlanta Falcons is here. April Thomas is in the chat with what up, everyone. And don't break a hip, T Will. T Will, you dancing out there? You got Dancing with the Stars coming up? What going on over here, T Will?
No, that's Ron secretly masking himself as April, and Ron knows that I'm a better dancer than he is. This goes back a
Sheesh.
long way. This goes back to last year when Ron and I got into this conversation about who's the better dancer. And look, it's T Will all day and twice on Sunday. Okay, yes, I'm old. Yes, I'm 55. But let me tell you something. T Will used to be able to cut the rug, sir. That's all I'm saying. And
I
I'm
mean, cut the
confident.
rug on the dance floor. And I also seen your highlight tape from playing flag football when
Yes, sir.
T Will was
Yes,
looking
sir.
like G Will out there,
Hey,
boy.
man,
T
your
Will
boy
was
could move out there.
cutting up out there,
Hey
man.
man, your boy can move out there. I'm not gonna lie, man. Back in the day, I ran a 4.3. Hey man, I had some get somewhere in my shoes, so all good. But hey, it's all in good fun. You know what I mean?
Back in the day,
Ron's
you
my
ran
guy.
a 4.3 or 14.3 or
No, I ran a
403.3?
4.3, sir. Let me tell
A
you something.
four three?
I've only lost 3 races in my life, and
Wait,
one
wait,
of
hold on, hold
them.
on, hold on, hold on. You ran a 4.3. You're not on the Falcons coaching staff right now. You're not trying to get into the office with Terry and the rest of the group. Like, hey guys, check this out. Like, I'm Mr. 80 on the run,
Yeah,
right? Still haven't got my call yet. Really disappointed about it. But at
yeah.
this point, T Will 4.3 blazing saddle. T Will, you running like that?
Hey man, hey, you know what I mean? T Will could run back in the day, but again, I'm from a family of people who could do that. Eric and I aren't even the best athletes in our family. Eric was a good athlete. I was a good athlete. I was nothing compared to Bob Parker.
I
Okay,
mean,
Bob.
you ran a 4.3, and Eric obviously ain't running no 4.3 with them flip flops on. Matter of
Eric
fact,
was
hold on.
fast.
Yo, Eric.
Oh
Hey,
wow. Oh
hey, man.
wow.
Your brother ran a
Oh,
4.3,
he's
but
starting early,
can you run
ladies
a
and
4.3 up
gentlemen.
that ladder and finish that roof?
Oh
Appreciate it, my
wow.
brother.
Oh
Appreciate it, my brother.
wow. This
Hey,
guy.
hey, it ain't gonna rain today, too, man. Sun's out.
This
Sun's out.
guy.
Let's go,
This
man.
guy's hilarious. Jack, we have two cousins that run a 4.2.
Okay.
Bob Parker is the best athlete I've ever seen in my life. Like Bob made me feel insecure, which had never happened before. And anyway, this isn't about him, but hey, suffice it to say, it's all in good fun. Ronnie Thomas, whenever you want to make this happen, you let me know. And hey, man, I'm gonna
You telling
apologize.
Ron Time to line up? You telling him to line up for this 40?
No,
Is that
I'm
what you
talking about
saying?
the dance contest, man.
Oh, you
Obviously,
okay? Okay.
I'm old, bro, but I mean, if he want to make this dance contest happen, we can make it happen. Now he's gonna get embarrassed, unfortunately, but it's all good, man. It's all in good fun. Salma A says, "Hey, shout out to Cab." Deke says he gets up at 4 a.m. in the morning. Jack,
4 a.m.
sheesh.
He must be out there working out or getting everything prepared. But West Coast folks waking up at 4 a.m. and then the
Damn,
podcast is starting around like 6:30 for them, and they're in the chat talking Falcons football. We got to give a
wow.
big shout out to Dwayne Ruffin, man.
Shout
Shout
out to
out to you,
Deke,
sir.
man. Shout out to Deke, man. Yeah, Matthew Bass says, "Rise up, fellas, listening in while I be cruising."
So Matthew Bass is always out there somewhere, the Mediterranean, somewhere crossing the Atlantic or the Pacific. This man stays on. You talking about carry with the Yakata?
the
Matthew
Yakita.
Bass stays on a cruise right now. So big shout out to Matthew Bass when
Oh
it
wow,
comes
that's
to
what's up.
traveling and enjoying and living his best life. You see, Falcons are out there. Some of the players are out there on vacation. I think Lenny Craig was out there in Vegas. We had a couple Falcons posting from like a resort. A couple people went back to their hometown to go kick it with family because it is a bye week. It is a victory bye week. So Falcon fans, please enjoy this. I think Carrie is heading to the Bahamas, or she might be going to the Bahamas. I can't remember what's going on,
Yeah,
but
she said she was going to the Bahamas.
she is living her best life. It is a good victory week. It feels good when you can put on your Falcons gear. The other night I went to a restaurant watching just it was just sports on TV. Can't remember. I think it was the WNBA finals and so on. But I walk in there, I got my Falcon shirt, Falcon hat, and of course, after the big win from the Commanders, somebody got to mention, oh, there go those Falcons fans. There they go. Now they pulling up. Like, bro, we've been here. We mean now we pulling up. I don't know what side of town you live on, but I always got my Falcons gear on, man. So big shout out to the Atlanta Falcons for getting that big win over the Commanders because we needed that going into the bye week. Sterling Woods is here. He said, "What's going on, people?"
Sterling, what's up, man?
Big shout out to Sterling Woods. He said, "We get 10 wins, we are going to the playoffs." Man, this NFC South might seem like, it's one of the worst divisions in the NFL. Have people kind of looked at it, but when you got a team like the Bucks who randomly get these crazy wins, I think the Bucks should have been honestly 0-3 to start the season, but they gave time to Baker on the clock with timeouts, and he was able to get it done. The first game against the Falcons, the situation with Koo missing the kick and everything, still a tight game. Second game, they go in, win the game at the end of the game. Third game, they go in, win the game at the end of the game. But they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles as we go ahead and win against the Commanders. So now it's going to be a tight race going forward. I believe I'm going to pull up the Bucs schedule in just a minute. I believe they have a tough matchup coming up Sunday. And then, of course, for us, we have to go ahead and play the Bills the following week. So big shout out to Sterling Woods. He said 10 wins, we are going to the playoffs, man. To have a 10-win team would feel amazing because I think this coaching staff and the players on this team could definitely get you 10 wins. You just got to go out there for 60 minutes and get the job done. Jay Black said, T will be dancing? There's a dance-off coming? Hey, look, I don't know if y'all know this, but Breakfast with One Time for the Fan falls on Halloween.
Oh,
right?
wow.
So, T will, if you want to come here in like your Zorro, if you want to come in here in like your ballroom outfit, maybe I'm giving you some ideas.
Zorro. He said Zorro.
Give you some ideas, get the rose and, start,
oh, wow.
Little 1-2 waltz across the room, you know what I'm saying? Have Kim over there like T-Will and then Kim, something like that, Yeah, we just kind of get the views up. Not just playing. Fox fans, hit that like, share.
He sit out there with the Zorro outfit with the rose. It is wow. Oh,
it's
man.
going down, man. Wow. Sterling Woods said, "What's up with Big Low talking about your golf game, bro?" Wait, Big Low talking about my golf game? Matter of fact, it's what 9:41 a.m. Big Low. Hopefully, you're on the course cutting the grass because you can probably find that ball that you lost last week. So, big shout out to Big Low, who's calling me out on the golf course. But Sunday, Big Low, on Sunday, matter of fact, Big Low, you've been real choppy about my golf game. I think the match play, I think the scramble play is going to have to be focused on me versus you. Right? So I know my boy Malcolm gets involved and he's like, hey, guys, you guys want to put a little wager down? Hold on, Malcolm. This is personal between me and Big Low Country Sports. So I think the match play, the scramble play might be between me and Big Low Country. And Country, don't turn to me again like you did last week and say, that's a par. And I said, that's a par where? That's a double bogey, sir. I don't want to hear that guy. You trying to go under when you're going over.
So it's some mulligans going on.
I'll let you get it when I'm not writing it down on the score sheet, but when we're putting it down on the play, man, that's a double bogey. So
you're saying it's some mulligans going on. Is that what you're saying?
When you're playing public golf or average golfers, like you pay to play. You don't get paid to play. Right. So there's certain things you definitely have to go by with the rule book when you're playing golf. But, I'm a real decent golfer. Country's a decent golfer. So there's no disrespect there. We're just talking trash. But Malcolm, he's a real decent golfer. I call my boy Malcolm the rule book because Malcolm does not play. He doesn't play all that, release stuff and best ball and all that other stuff. He's like, look, you're on your third shot off the tee. If you just shank that ball into the woods, you're getting ready to tee off again. Right. So even sometimes I go to Malcolm and, my score would be correct. I'll say, damn, that's a par. And he'll look at me. He'll be like, that's a par? He'll try to go back and count the shots. Man, that's a par. That's a par, bro. I'm not going to get into this with you. That's a par. But, it's good to play golf. And it's a relaxing, peaceful type of thing when you play golf with not only your homies, but even if you're playing by yourself, it just gets you into that mental state of just being at peace and being, calm and just enjoying the environment and don't have to worry about, your job or people calling you all the time and, being on the phone too as well. Everybody's so locked into the phone these days. They don't want to put the phone down. But when you play golf, like even when you're getting ready to swing and the phone rings, you're kind of mad at the phone is ringing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's messing up your concentration. So big shout out to all the golfers out there. If you haven't played, we ain't talking about no top golf either, where you go out there and spend $154 to get hit, 20, 30 balls on a driving range. No, we're talking about 18 holes golf, 9 holes golf. Got to have you got to be definitely dressed the par to go play. Like some courses won't even allow you out there unless you have your polo on, unless you have your collar shirt. They don't play that type of stuff. Certain clubs, certain golf courses don't allow, golf shoes walking into the clubhouse, that type of thing. And of course, you can never bring your bag into the clubhouse. That'd be one disrespectful thing. So big shout to Sterling Woods. Y'all go ahead and tell Country next time he's live that you can talk all you want about Jack Spade, but Sunday is going down. It's going down in a major way. TG's in the chat. Shout out my boy TG, man. He said, rise up. Great win this week. Going to the Bahamas next week. Hey, you might run into Carrie. She's usually wearing Falcons gear. So if you see Carrie over there in the Bahamas, big shout out to TG. Big shout out to Carrie. Everybody's traveling. Everybody's traveling but Jack Spade and T Will. We are here talking Falcons football, but everybody else seems to be getting the hell on. So big shout out to you all who's going to be hitting the waves or taking the skies to fly to your destination, or even just get in the car and just traveling on the road with your family and friends. Jay Black's in the chat. Where is Carrie when you need her? She's probably in the chat. Carrie is not too far away. She's the greatest co-host and super producer and a good friend too as well.
Amen.
So you can see Carrie a lot. And if you haven't seen Carrie on this channel, go check her out on social media. We're actually going to put up a post here shortly from what Carrie posted on Twitter the other day, and we want to get you guys' take, Falcon fans. So tag your Falcon friends and tell your Falcon family. Falcon fans are here talking Falcons football. Jonte Rozier's in the chat said, good morning, fellas, from Northern Nevada. So Northern
Dante,
Nevada
how you doing, man?
is checking in. Remember when we started the show, I said, where you guys watching the show? Where are you guys listening to the show? Season ticket holders, rep your section in the chat. Jonte Rozier said, Northern Nevada is in the house. When I tell y'all Falcon fans are deep, Falcon fans are deep. Big shot to Jay Black. He said, big low cutting the grass. He's trying to find that golf ball he lost last week, bro.
Oh,
that's all I'm just trying to tell you. Jay Black said, Jack, so you saying you rolling with double bogey, big low? Hey, look, y'all seen Big Low cut them videos and, doing putting on with Southern Silk and the singing and the rapping and all that stuff. But let Big Low Country show you how to find a golf ball, because he loses a lot. And sometimes I got to drive him back to the clubhouse to go get extra. Or, sometimes I might have to stop at the Walmart to go grab him some of them Kirkland signatures, because we don't want to mess up them tailor-mades and them Titleists. You know what I'm saying? They cost some good money. But hey, Country, everything good over there, bro? Man, I can't find my ball. Don't worry, brother. I got a $2 ball right here.
Wow.
Kirkland signature. That's Big Little Country for you. Jeremiah Weens in the chat. Falcon fans, what's up? Jack Spade and Terry. Victory Friday. It's not only Victory Friday, it's Victory Week. We've been celebrating all week. We're having a good time doing it. And now let's get to some Falcons football, because it's going to be a quick show. We're going to probably talk for about another 15 minutes. And then we are up out of here. T-Will got something for you, man. The NFL doesn't show too much love to the Falcons. And, we don't like that. But here on One Time for the Fan, we always show love to the Atlanta Falcons. And guess what, T-Will? Bijan Robinson has been named NFC Offensive Player of the Month. And rookie, T-Will, safety Xavier Watts, has been named as the NFC Defensive Rookie of the Month. T-Will, I need your take. I need your thoughts on these two phenomenal athletes for the Atlanta Falcons that have taken it to the next level. You already know what Bijan can do, but big shout out to Terry Fontenot for going out there and drafting this guy named Xavier Watts. Your thoughts on what we got so far here in Atlanta with these two small awards that we know can lead to bigger awards later at the end of the season. Team Will.
I think Xavier Watts. I honestly think all of the draft picks. We had a good draft. Terry Fontenot made some great picks. And I don't have anything bad to say about either one of them. Look at JPJ is getting it done. Jalen Walker is getting it done. Billy Bowman is getting it done. Xavier Watts is definitely getting it done. And I am super excited about moving forward. And, he may have just saved us, because look at, if you're going to pay Penix in a couple of years, you got to have affordable talent, right? So half your roster is veterans. And in the realistic world, the other half of your roster is probably guys in years 1 to 3. And so to make these crucial drafts or draft picks on the defense was clutch, right? Because look, all the money is on the offensive side of the ball right now. So you needed cornerbacks, you needed another safety, you needed some rushing, and you needed it to be able to come in and contribute right away. And they did a great job. So sky's the limit with all of these guys. I'm looking forward to just having Falcons great defenses for years to come. I mean, look at these guys have been installed. They're pretty much all starters. And Jack, I think we're top 5 in DVOA or top 2 in DVOA. We are ninth against the run. Our pass rushing has been great. Our pressures have been greater. To be honest with you, our defense has been carrying us. And you got some rookies starting on defense. So I think that their contribution and impact is great. And I think it will just continue to get better. Those are my thoughts, Jack. What about yours?
It feels good to know that the Falcons are getting this type of recognition. But when you got guys, and we know about Bijan Robinson, Falcon fans, everybody was excited since the moment we drafted him. You've seen this tape coming out of college too, as well, and what he's done here with the Falcons since he's been here. But when you got a guy like Xavier Watts making noise like this, remember T. Will, we were going into training camp and preseason not knowing who the starting safety would be,
Right,
right? Outside of
right.
Jesse Bates, and it's like people were saying Hellums and Jordan Fuller came in. Oh yeah, Fuller got those ties with Raheem Morris, and he's played with Raheem in L.A. And DeMarco
Isn't
Hellums,
that
he's coming back. And
something?
it, but
Isn't
a
that
rookie,
something?
T. Will, a
Yeah,
rookie.
yeah. But hey, this rookie's got talent and he knows what he's doing. And football sports is so amazing because a lot of times things are about timing, right? So much of it is about timing. Matt Ryan spent 14 years with us, and with the exception of 2017, really never had a great defense.
Mhm,
Really did not. There was some that were serviceable, but never really had a top 10 defense
mhm.
until 2017. And the way it worked out was the year you had a top defense, you just lost one of the best offensive coordinators the Falcons ever had. And I fully believe if we had Kyle Shanahan in 2017, we go back to the Super Bowl and probably win. And so again, sometimes things just work out to where it's timing. But look, the synergy is good right now. The energy is good right now. The culture is good right now, and I'm expecting great things from this team, Jack.
Terry,
Um,
seeing this Xavier Watts rookie defensive player of the month, is this what Georgia Texas boys talking about with the new era? Rookie
I
stepping
believe
up
so.
like this.
Yeah,
You guys see what Dorless is doing. You see what Rook is doing.
yep,
Like these are some of the young guys that's getting ready to do what, T. Will? Take the Falcons to the next level. So is this part
yeah.
of this new era, T. Will?
I think it is. Now, what's interesting is Terry Fontenot has been here for what, 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
and these last two with Raheem, he's made some great picks. So you gotta. Well, you know what? He's drafted most of our offensive guys, but this year and last year, he probably had the best drafts of his career here in Atlanta. Do you think that it's a coincidence that Raheem is here for both of those years? Or, is it just that, hey, maybe there's a little bit of luck involved? Like, give me your thoughts on that. And not that the years prior
Luck
were bad.
involved with the Falcons? No, can't
Okay.
be.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, you know, the knock on Terry Fontenot is that his late round drafts were not that great.
Mm-hmm.
But these last 2 years, they've been very good.
Mm-hmm.
They've been very good. You got 4 starters out of a draft. Um, to me, that's outstanding. You got
Mm-hmm.
arguably what, 3 starters last year? You got Penix, you got Rook, you got Trice, you got
Can't
Dorless.
forget
That's four,
Bergeron too
right?
as well. Bergeron's in the mix again
Right,
over here.
right. So I mean, the last 2 years he's been outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, is it Raheem's influence, or like, I don't know
Everybody
what
puts
that
in. You just
dynamic
can't call
is.
out one guy. Everybody has to say so in the pot. Even looking into
Okay.
that war room when it comes to draft night, even seeing Josh Blank in the room now, right? Like you're seeing
Mhm.
people that's everybody's putting their 2 cents in, right? And Raheem with Jeff, Nate Ali, the new
Mhm.
linebackers coach, the I want to talk about this on Sunday night, but Ike Hilliard's situation. Like, if we go out there and beat the Bills and we continue on with this, T Will, maybe was Ike Hilliard the problem, right? Because you saw the wide receivers eating the other day with TJ Watts back with the core group. So T Will, I mean, everybody has put into making the fans, buy into the Atlanta Falcons. That big win against the Commanders really shows that this team is ready to go fight, because after you get punched in the mouth by little brother the week before, you have to respond. And they've
Mm.
responded in a dominant fashion. I know the game was a little bit close and the Commanders still maybe had a chance in the fourth quarter. I don't want to hear about Jaden Daniels. He didn't play. I don't care. We'll probably see them again in the playoffs. I don't care. But this team, T Will, is on to something, right? And it gives credit to Terry. It's credit to Raheem. And
Mm-hmm.
guess what? It gives credit to Jeff Olbert too as well, Jerry
Mm.
Gray and the rest of the guys. And then it passes down to who? Your Michael Penix, your Bijan Robinson, your Tyler Algier, your Kyle Pitts. So I'm going to say right now, man, there's no luck when it comes to these Falcons right now. This team is playing well. I think this team is a playoff team. Kerry asked a question the other day on Twitter, T. Will, and I want to get your take on it. I want to get Falcons' take on it. Are you taking the over or the under on the Falcons 7.5 wins? T. Will. Now we were
I'm
talking
def-
some gambling last night. T. Will. Remember we were talking about some some props, right?
yeah,
But
we
let's get
were.
straight to it. T. Will. If you had to go to Vegas and put a nice little parlay together, are you taking the Falcons over 8 wins this season? And I see some people saying 10 wins in the chat. Chat, what do you guys think? Are you taking the Falcons more than 8 wins this season on the year? Kerry says, I'm taking the over. You see some of the comments right here, over. Of course, you see me, over. The Andy says over. Matt Jones seems very much within reason to get 6 more wins. Playoffs are a top 5 passing defense without AJ playing, and Jesse hasn't had his 2-pick game yet this season. So I'm taking the over. Peter Williams says, why can't we go 15-2? What does T. Will from For My ATL Sports say when it comes to 7.5 wins for these Falcons? Because remember in the past, T. Will, they were saying we wouldn't even get 4 wins. We wouldn't even
Mm.
get 5 wins.
Mm.
T. Will, what is your thoughts on this, man? Because got about 10 minutes left here in the show, but your thoughts on what Kerry's post is, Falcons over 7.5 wins, T. Will.
I'm definitely taking the over. Now, make no mistake about it. Some of these teams that were considered bad at the beginning of the year are right now playing well. But even with that being said, the talent that you have on this team, you have a defensive coordinator that seems to be in sync with his players. Yeah, I definitely see greater than 8 wins, and I don't think it'll even be close.
Falcon fans, you're taking the chat. Do you think this team is an 8+ win team? Right? If you say this team is an 8+ win, let me get into big little country mode. If this team is an 8-win team or more, put a 1 in the chat. If you think this team is a 10+ win team, drop a 2 in the chat. And if you're out there on the golf course and you find my golf ball, drop a 3 in the chat. Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Larry's in the chat. He said, I seen a stat where Rook has the highest pressure rate of all defensive linemen right now. Man, big shout out to Rook. Big shout out to D'Angelo Malone. Big shout out to Dede. Big shout out to Caden Ellis. And big shout out to this guy, man, named Brandon Dorless, man. T-Will, did you see the mic'd up of Brandon Dorless? I think the Falcons need to keep this guy mic'd up for the rest of the season. This
I
dude
think
has
they
the
do. Yeah,
energy that
yeah.
we haven't seen in a while. Last time I seen a player like just sideline hype, in-game hype was like Frank Darby a little bit, but then again, we didn't see too much of Frank Darby on the field. But Brandon Dorless, remember the Minnesota Vikings game? Like when he was mic'd up, I think, too, as well. And they called him laughing at the offensive lineman because he
Mm.
jumped off sides. He was like, ha, ha, ha. He started laughing. Even on the sideline, him and the players joking about Drake London's catch and calling him the beige bandit and all this type of stuff. We had a beige bandit a couple years ago, but he was, not getting us wins.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
DoorDash. But Falcon fans, I'm just
Here
telling you
we
right now,
go.
like we
Here
have
we go.
apparently the new beige bandit, Drake London, in the
Mm.
building. But
Mm-mm.
to see Dorless excited on the sideline, the players reacting to what is going on the field, Falcon fans really dial in and tune in on this defense, on this team, on this coaching staff. And that's where it comes into Raheem being that players coach, giving players the opportunities they need to succeed out there in the field. And of course, you got a guy like Dorless, got a guy like Rook, got a guy like Zach Harrison, who's leading the team in sacks right now. a big game is coming up against the Bills. We're going to do a lot of breaking down of the Falcons Bills next week because right now it's just breakfast for one time for the fan on this beautiful Falcons Friday, Victory Falcons Friday too as well. But your thoughts, T. Will, just about Dorless, Rook, Zach Harrison, still a young guy too as well, not like a vet in the league, still a young guy. But just your thoughts on just this core defensive line and these young guys that's stepping up, T. Will, because it is reminding you a little bit of the 2016 season. Remember how big the rookies played in to what we needed to get to playoffs and win the division? T. Will, these young guys are stepping up, man. Your thoughts on that?
This defense is better than the 2016 defense.
There's 4 games in, T. Will. You're gonna get some people. You're gonna get some people talking here, T. Will. Not that we don't want that. We're gonna get some people talking, T. Will.
Okay, do me a favor. Check the stats. Check what that 2016 defensive team. I don't even think it was above 28. So, matter of fact, that 2016 defense was Dan Quinn had to take over game 8 or game 9. So that defensive squad, that was an offensive team. They did not have balance. That was an offensive juggernaut. That I think they scored the 8th most points ever. That was an offense. Let me tell you something.
But defensively, they were giving up some points too as well.
If that 2016 team had this defense, we'd have won 3 Super Bowls back to back. Okay.
So the question is, the 2016 Falcons versus the 2025 Falcons. We ain't got too much time in the show. I already know what you're going to get to. That's like a Sunday conversation right there.
It is.
2016 Falcons
Yeah.
going into the first 4 weeks of the season versus the 2025 Falcons. Now, some people will say, hey, Jack, T. Will, y'all can't do that. 2016 Falcons made it to the Super Bowl. We ain't nowhere near there yet. We understand, right? But we're just bringing up talking points that fans can look at and say, man, that 2016 team was good, but I don't know. This 2025 team, them boys rolling out there.
It could go either way. If that 2025, if they played this 2025 team, if we could run the ball on them, then it's 2025. If you get into a shootout, it's 2016 all day. That's how I judge it, right? So if you get into a shootout with that 2016 team, that's the 8th best offense of all time. They're going to win. But if you can run that ball, manage the clock, keep them off the field, this 2025 team could beat them because this defense is better. They can pressure the quarterback. They can sack the quarterback. They can play man-to-man. They got ball hawks on the back. They got
Diablo.
Have a Julio,
though? Did they have a Julio?
No, but they got a Penix and a Drake and a Pitts and a. Did that 2016 team have a Bijan?
Oh no, there we go.
No, they did not.
Had to get the Bijan, which I do think you had a Bijan in 2016. Hey, we're still doing the parade down the street, right? In fact, I don't think people went to work yet.
People got to understand, and that's why I was excited that the Falcons took Bijan. That's why I was excited that the Falcons took Drake. I was excited that they took Pitts.
A lot of fans were not excited about the Drake pick coming from USC or the Pitts picks being so high coming out of Florida. Now you guys see when you have a team that is gelling in chemistry and working together, you can orchestrate some good wins and get some things going. Still early in the season, but I do think I like what I see, T-Will.
Let me tell you something. This team can do anything. This team, and I'm going to say it now, it doesn't mean that we will. All right. So, but before I say this, y'all jump all over me. This team is good enough.
Hold on now. I don't want to cut you off, but don't jump all over him like the Georgia player did to draw a penalty and give Alabama another chance.
Please don't.
I'm just thinking about that. Like we could have really changed the outcome of the game without that play. But
we could have. But this team, this 2025 team, is good enough to win a Super Bowl in the right set of circumstances. Now, of course, hey, you got to have the right people to stay healthy. But if Zach can get it together, right, and vary his play calling, this defense can hold leads. This defense is good enough to hold leads. If we can get our special teams together, this team is good enough to make a run. Now, will they? Don't know, because a lot of this is time and circumstance and your opponent. And look, to win a championship, you got to have a thing called fortune. You got to have a thing called Uncle Mo wearing the jersey of your team. But it can happen, guys. Make no mistake about it. This team can catch lightning in a bottle and make a deep run. This is a good team. This is a very good team. This team has a lot of talent. And if we can get our coaching together, okay, So
Hey,
yeah,
you hear it from T. Will. Falcon fans in the chat. I see your comments. Big shout out to Larry. Larry thinking that TJ Yates could possibly be our upcoming OC. I know fans are probably looking at Zach Robinson with leaving the booth and coming down to the field and what's going to happen the rest of the season. Oklahoma State, which is Zach Robinson's alma, has fired their head coach. So, of course, they're going to have like an interim head coach going forward. And maybe Zach Robinson might think, hey, next season, I can become the head coach over there. There was some people that I think were mentioning Zach Robinson's name could be on the list or whatever, but we'll get to that when the end of the season comes. But of course, with a guy like TJ Yates in the building, who's also worked close to the players, just like Raheem has done here for some years, could he be the next OC? But that's long time coming from today. But big shout out to Larry for the comment. Larry said also 12 wins. He sees a team that's 12-5. Jay Black mentioning how the 49ers are banged up with injuries. And even Mac Jones, I mean, I don't know what they did to Mac Jones last night, but it looked like that movie Replacements where they had the two offensive linemen holding them up in the middle and just letting them throw the ball and get the ball on the field. Mac Jones was taking some shots last night from the Rams. But
yes,
he
he
got up,
was.
he delivered. The Rams really played themselves into a loss. Why are you going for it on 4th-1 in overtime? I don't understand. Just kick the field goal, give another opportunity for your defense, get back out there and possibly give you that Matthew Stafford 2-minute drill moment. But they decided to go for it on 4th-1 and turn the 49ers over to 4-1. But they are banged up with a lot of injuries. We'll get to that after the Bills game too as well. April Thomas says over. You got the Boogeyman too said this is definitely a 10+ win team. Sterling Wood said this is a 10+ win team. And then we got a special guest that will be joining us Monday night here on One Time for the Fan. For the first time, Uncle Steve's Lounge will be joining us on
Uncle
Monday night.
Steve, what's up, man?
Pop-up
What's going on, Uncle
podcast going
Steve?
down for our
What up,
bi-week
Craig?
podcast bowl. Big shout out to Uncle Steve's Lounge, who's going to be joining us Monday night at 8. I'm sure he's going to have the soundboard lit, probably going to have some songs, some new songs, you never know, to show us. I don't want to, I don't want to get into the album right now, Uncle Steve, but
Oh,
if you have a song or two for us, that would be great. Big shout out to Uncle Steve joining us Monday night at 8 too as well. Craig said if we get 10 or more wins with the playoff run, everybody in Atlanta will be wearing everybody that will be wearing capris. Man, this boy Craig is something else, man. Big shout out to Craig in the chat. Hopefully we don't get too many people wearing capris up in here,
Jack,
but you
Jack,
never know.
that is a question. If the Falcons win the Super Bowl, would you wear capris?
We're going to Uncle Steve's comment. Steve says one.
Ah,
My MGM bet slip from August is hoping that we get the over. By the way, that Dorless mic'd up was fire. The beige bandit. Hey man, this is super cool that we have Uncle Steve's Lounge in the chat because bring your questions and your comments for Uncle Steve Monday night. He talks Falcons football so well on his channel. Please head over there and give him a like, share, and subscribe button too as well. But yeah, some fans in the chat that is talking Falcons football. So we're getting to the comments before we wrap this up here. CD Electrician with the Good Morning Family. He says the 2025 defense is definitely better. Bijan versus Bijan, not Bijan, as Terry said a couple weeks ago, Bijan from Japan.
why you got to bring
Uh,
up old stuff, Jack? Why you got to bring up old stuff?
well, he
I'm
took
just
Eric
saying.
Parker's side the other day in that roast, and I'm like, T-Will, we're on the podcast. Like, we're on the team here, right? Big shout out to Eric Parker. Big shout out to C Electrician. Bijan versus Freeman, no competition. C also said 2025 offense based off of one person like 2016 did with Julio. Got that boy Ramel in the chat. He
Julio,
said, what's happening one time for the fan? Rise up. Happy Falcons Friday.
what up,
Shout out to
Ramel?
Ramel in the chat. Everybody's chats here is going live and going lit. Craig said, I think we should have drafted Jamar Chase over Pitts because could you imagine having Chase and Drake together? It was kind of last night watching the Rams say that Adams is their wide receiver 1 and Puka is their wide receiver 1, and they still couldn't get the job done. Kind of crazy, man. But Stafford, even Mac Jones throwing for over 300 yards. I mean, that game was just straight pass. And you got to guess what, Falcon fans? You got to play both of those teams. So
Did
that
you? Hey, did
secondary
you
better be ready.
did you hit your prize picks off that?
I did, and I
I
posted
hit
it too
mine
as
as
well.
well.
I hit mine as well. I went. So I did 3. I went 2 or 3. I put the bigger payout was the first 2. The third one is when I got greedy with the Brian Robinson going for 20 yards. And the problem with that was I'm thinking at the end of the game, I'm like, holy shit. Kyle Shanahan giving the ball to a backup running back, right? Like how he doesn't want to give the ball to Christian McCaffrey. He wants to throw it 60 times, right?
Mm.
So it's like Brian Robinson, could you do it? He had a couple runs where it looked like he could have broke for 20, 30 yards, but unfortunately not. Went 5 or 6 on that one, 6 on 6 on the other two. And I posted it on my IG too as well. But Kyron Williams giving me those 32 points on my fantasy. A1, I know you probably listening or watching. A1, you got
Mm-mm.
some work cut out for you, my brother. You got
Mm-mm.
some work cut out for you this week. I made some changes
Mm-mm.
to the sleeper lineup, and now the fantasy team is rolling. But Kyron Williams, even with the fumble, giving me 31 points on fantasy felt good. Sterling Woods said, honestly thought our bye week came too early, but if we catch fire, then our bye week came right on time. And you get some players back too as well. Jonte Rozier, CD Electrician, Anthony's in the chat talking Falcons football. T Will, we did mention Uncle Steve will be here Monday at 8 talking Falcons football. We do have another special guest is going to be joining us on Tuesday, and another special guest is going to be joining us on Wednesday. And then we got that boy Damski talking Falcons football. A lot of y'all know Damski from social media on Twitter, breaking down plays and showing a lot of the ins and outs of the Atlanta Falcons. Damski will be joining us for the first time. So we got 2 first timers joining us next week on One Time for the Fan. Got Uncle Steve at 8 on Monday. Got Damski on Thursday. And that boy Big Low, joining us next week, Friday, breakfast with One Time for the Fan with who? Big Low Country Sports. So before
Big
we get up out of
Low in
here,
the building.
we got a super
Super chat.
from that guy, CD Electrician. He said, just here for the support. Y'all keep grinding. CD Electrician, man, just like whatever you do on your day-to-day, you keep grinding too, man. Do what you got to do to be successful. Big shout out to CD Electrician in the chat. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Like what we do here on One Time for the Fan is always from the fan for the fan. We love talking Falcons football with you all. That's why we go live and Sundays at 8, Wednesdays at 8, pop-up shows, Friday morning shows. T Will got Format ATL Sports, and we just love talking Falcons football. Unfortunately, we got to cut the show short because my golf group is hitting me up like they're already on the driving range. So they're like, where is Jack Spade at? And it's going down in a major way, not only on the channel but off the channel too as well. So continue supporting One Time for the Fan, and like I said, man, we're going to be here talking Falcons football all the time. This is your opportunity to bring your comments and your questions to talk Falcons football, not only with us but other positive Falcon fans in the chat, right? So people that's listening on Apple, listening on Spotify, listening on Amazon, watching from Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever, man, thank you all, because this is a beautiful thing to just talk Falcons football with everybody. But CD Electrician's in here with the super chat. Shout out to Dwayne Ruffin earlier with the super chat. Going down in a major way. T Will, let's go ahead and wrap this up, man, so we can get up out. Fans are probably expecting a 2-hour podcast this morning. No deal here. Got some stuff to take care of. But T Will, the floor is yours, my brother.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, Jack, please drive safely. I've ridden with you, sir, and to say that you live your life a quarter
With
mile at a
alcohol
time.
involved, T Will. With
Yeah, okay.
alcohol involved.
I'm just saying, please drive carefully, sir. I want my podcast buddy around for a long time, so just drive carefully. That being said, hey, everybody who joined us in the chat, thank God for you guys. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be with us. We love our Falcons, and we love talking it with you. So, hey, show up, show out. We love you. We appreciate you. Do me a favor, hit like, share, and subscribe if you are so inclined. Hey, last but not least, thank you to God for waking me up this morning. You guys can check me out at For My ATL Sports 1. That is the number 4 My ATL Sports, the number 1, and For My ATL Movies 1. No movie this weekend, but it's okay. We can, I guess, focus on the Georgia game and you guys relax and kick
Go
the
Dogs.
barbecue. Go Dogs! And enjoy the barbecue on Sunday. So, hey, man, Jack, Mr. Eric Parker, thank you guys for giving me my start in this business, and it is on you, sir.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, subscribe button. Craig, here you go. First, the other day, you talking about I'm on the golf course wearing capris like Raheem. Now you're in here talking about I'm hitting more trees than golf balls. The good thing about golf is if you hit the tree the right way and it lands back on the fairway, then you got a better shot. That's just what I see. You got a really good shot to go up there and get a second shot.
So it's strategy. It's
You don't
strategy,
just
is what
aim
you're
for the
saying.
trees. You don't aim for the trees.
Okay.
But then again, there are some times where
Okay.
you might shank hard right or hard left, and you like the first thing you'll say is hit the tree, hit the tree, hit the tree, and you hear a just like that, and you see the ball bounce back into the fairway, and it's like, yes, there's another opportunity. So, if you're playing with my boy I'm playing with later on called Rule Book, he's going to say, you're hitting third off the tee, right? I don't want to hear that. It's public golf, all right? It's public golf. But Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button, man. Thank you all for being here talking Falcons football with us on Breakfast with One Time for the Fan. Once again, Falcon fans talking Falcons football on a Falcons Friday. One Time for the Fan, always from the fan for the fan. This guy right here, T. Will, Mr. 4-3, doing it big. Shout out to For My ATL Sports. Please go over here and check out the channel. Like I said, we got Uncle Steve's Lounge joining us Monday night at 8. You got Damski joining us on Thursday night at 8. You got Big Little Country Sports next week, Friday at Breakfast with One Time for the Fan. We'll talk a lot of football and golf there too as well. And of course, Tuesday and Wednesday, we got 2 more special guests that we'll make an announcement shortly. But we're just kind of have a good time with other Falcon fans and talk Falcons football the right way. Thank you to you all, Miss Carrie, Bodie 3000, T. Will, everybody in the chat. One Time for the Fan. I keep saying it. It's One Time for the Fan because we are the fans, right? This show is for y'all too as well. So come on back Sunday night. We'll talk some Falcons football, and we're gonna have a good one. So shout out to everybody. T. Will, shout out to you, my good friend.
Shout out, Jack.
Rise up.